Hi, Christian.
Hi, Martin.
Long time no see.
Yeah, last year it was.
Yeah, it's once in a year in Las Vegas.
Yeah, always feels like a class reunion.
And next year somewhere else.
Yeah. I've heard Anaheim. So
yeah, that's
but by the time this is published, we probably should know it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. We're not going to be that quick. So you can say everything that you know already, and be sure we won't publish it until all this week is over and so on.
Fair enough.
So we know one another for longer. Can you introduce yourself real quick to the people?
Yeah, I'm Christian Reichert. I'm the co-founder of Resolution. So we are a marketplace vendor having a variety of apps. One of the most well-known is SAML single sign-on for data center, but also a variety of cloud apps like HubSpot or Monday.com for Jira and Confluence. So I've been in the ecosystem since I think 2013, so that's where we actually met, and feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, a lot of things have changed. Tell us a little bit about the apps that you're working right now. So we all know this SSO app that you're doing, but maybe there's something new that you want to introduce.
Yeah, there's actually a couple. One of the news that we launched here is actually a stand-up app. That's what we're here with NASA and astronaut looking. So NASA, not another stand-up app.
Yeah, okay.
And it's one we actually originally written for ourselves. Yeah,
okay.
With all the typical stand-up. I mean, I'm more the person who's not very well prepared for stand-up, so I waste a lot of time trying to remember what I did yesterday. Björn, for example, is more of the type who just keeps talking on for too long. So at some point I scoured the marketplace and even a little bit outside some other cloud services because I thought it should be a solved problem. But I didn't really like any of them.
And what does your app do?
Well, I mean, it helps you prepare for your stand-up. So essentially, you define when stand-ups happen, who participates, and then you prepare for your stand-up. Everyone individually gets a link to follow to prepare for your stand-up. But we try to put a lot of effort into giving you a lot of the context, what you worked on yesterday, what did you plan to work on for the day, so that it's...
From within Jira?
Yeah, from within Jira.
And it's a Jira app then?
Yeah, it's a Jira app, and at the moment we're also...
Look at this, someone is coming into my... It must be It must be a fax machine coming into my video. Look at Robert Castaneda. So that's like the class reunion thing that we just said.
Absolutely, and he's been around for much longer than I have.
Yeah,
so it's like
I think he was around when Mike and Scott founded the company in Sydney.
Yeah.
And he can just jump into the video. It's all right to do that.
So yeah, ultimately back to stand-up. It helps you prepare, give you good context. At the moment, that comes out of Jira. That's true. But what we're working on is the connection to Bitbucket, to Confluence as well, and then have some clever machine learning AI models that try to combine those things into a singular update.
So I don't have to be in the stand-up because ChatGPT will do my job.
Well, it helps you prepare, yeah? And actually some people just use it as, once you've done your things as an offline stand-up. I'm not a big fan of offline stand-ups, but that's what you can do. You get a nice report, who's worked on what, and can see what your team worked on.
Okay, and offline stand-up means asynchronous, so everyone is just, okay.
Yeah. And I think that's the other thing that we really like, is we do really stand-ups in Zoom. So you also have a meeting mode in our app that then gives you a page per person with their updates. Has a timer in there to help them stick to their time. Easy ways to flag issues.
That would also be very good for me. I'm the Björn type of person.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
How come? Okay, stand-ups, I understand that. We were talking about another app as well. Do you want to Humano or?
Yeah, Humano. Humano itself is a cloud service that delivers a lot of agile metrics. but also insights to that. So it goes beyond that. So it has a planner recommendation engine. It's a very comprehensive cloud service, and one that we have used for I think a year and a half by now, and helps us in our daily business. But the downside that I found from a lot of other agile metrics things is that you have to be an agile coach to interpret the metrics. What does it actually mean to you and your team? Yeah, and that's where I think Humano goes a bit further, to having a variety of machine learning models that give you concrete recommendations where they compare your current performance to your best. What does your team look at your best performance? But also what's your average performance in recent sprints, and then can give you like insights like in this sprint you just dragged in too many tickets.
How do you calculate performance?
Well, that's a better question for Chris. Maybe you want to have a video with him showing you a bit more on Humano, but you have the typical...
It's maybe an evil question, because I'm deeply convinced that performance is something that you can never attribute to one single person. So performance is always a team effort, and
that's actually
kind of like makes it very complex. If only part of that is true, it's going to make it very different to say, oh, your performance is this and your performance that.
Yeah. And Humano looks more not at an individual level, more at a team level. Okay. Or if you compare it to Jira, on a board level, and the team involved in a certain
like
sprint
team
and
velocity
board.
Or something like
that. Velocity, but also what is the cycle time on issues, how much is in your backlog, how long does it typically deliver you. Or one of the more interesting things that we found was looking at your story points and what time do you typically spend on a 2 points, 3 points, and suddenly we discovered that there was a lot of discrepancy in how we estimate. So it can give you a lot of insights how to improve on those things, but also then translate that in, hey, if you want to, or you very often drag a lot of tickets into mid-sprint, and that's actually what's hurting your performance here. And that's what I like. And
if I want to know more about resolution apps, where can I find that out?
Resolution.de, so our website.
Resolution.de. Okay, well, we'll do that. Let's shift gears a little bit towards what people that are looking at this. Some of those people may be marketplace vendors, and it's not the first 2 apps that you're trying to market. If I'm creating my own app now and I'm watching this, what can you give me as advice what I could be doing to become more successful?
Oh, that's a bloody loaded question.
Oh, you can pick one. I would want to have like 5 things, but let's start with one thing.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, have a good problem to solve. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the marketplace is pretty full nowadays. So it's hard to...
if I don't find traction, rather pivot and do something else?
Well, have a look why you don't find traction. I mean, a lot of people we see starting in the marketplace start as engineers, look at the problem to solve. So yes, make sure you have a good problem to solve. But then nowadays it's hard to stick out without marketing, or at least have some basics, have a good appealing marketplace presence, nice screenshots, good description with keywords. But then also think through, is your app more something that sells itself by having some good content somewhere, or is it more towards enterprise? So who's your target customer, yeah? Mm-hmm. If it's a lot of the small instances and a pure marketing approach content, you're the better one to talk about this. Might be a great approach, yeah? If you're targeting more larger customers, fewer but larger customers, then partner relationships, finding some solution partners who can introduce you to them is...
This is all valuable feedback, yeah?
Yeah,
awesome.
Is important, so...
Let me ask some specific things. How do I get reviews?
How do you get reviews? Well, the way we get reviews is by doing very good support, and then at the end of the support, ask the people if they were willing to review the app. We get We very rarely get reviews just out of the blue.
Do you want to have more support cases or less? So rather deflecting things and everything can be done self-service, or are you welcoming everyone coming in, and the more the better because you get the contact?
I'm always happy when we can talk to customers. Yeah. So we never try to deflect cases. If anything, we try to move them from ticketing to a video session, Zoom session with us to interact with them, because that builds stronger and better relationships. And virtually out of every Zoom session we learn something. And most of our products have grown to what they are today because customers told us what their problems are and we found good solutions to them. So whenever I can choose that kind of customer interaction, I'll take it any day. So it might be more difficult if you have a lot of sort of the end user type, how do I do this question? But we get very technical minded people on our calls, and having that interaction is incredibly valuable. So I'll never try to deflect the case.
Cool. Christian, thank you so much.
So, thank you.